So guys, today at BlockTalks we have another exciting guest with us. He has worked at least I think 7 to 8 years in Web3 industry. He is an expert in Web3 auditing, Web3 security. Let's try to know him. What's the insider info about smart contract audits, how it works, how he discuss with the so-called hackers who are just behind the issues and all. So let's try to know him. Meet Preetam.
Cool. So thanks, Ankush, for having me. As you mentioned, been into Web3 space 7 to 8 years. We work with around 1400 plus startups till now, and it was a very exciting journey. Seen so many hacks since 2017 18. One thing that we realized, right? Even we having good audit companies, security companies. Now AI is there. Hackers are always far ahead of us. How they can hack. Like now we are seeing hacks around AI agents, right? Like how they're manipulating the LLM, how actually they manipulated recently Elijah also and get money out of it, right? So as a founder, my thesis was always how we can secure new ecosystem. Like initially was Web3, now something around AI. We building some products.
Cool. So Preetam, let's start this discussion with the AI vibe which is going around. There is Eliza. There are multiple AI agents and all.
Yeah.
So just tell us the audience like how the hackers and the auditors are using AI for their benefits.
Yeah, so there's two ways. One is I was listening one great guy, the founder, not founder, the CEO of Palo Alto Networks, one of the biggest cybersecurity company, and he also shared great insights. So just assume as a biomedical company or a startup, you're building some maybe around, like just assume around COVID vaccine or some virus you're building, right? Like maybe something you're building, and if like just assume the hacker was able to get access of that vaccine or that virus, they can build something bioweapon, right? Because in your LLM specific to that virus, you feed it data and everything is there, right? So how risky is this if hacker can get access of your private LLM? This is the one thing around biospace. The second, in our industry, like in cybersecurity, initially if you are a you are a hacker, you're going to any website, you're trying to find out like is this your certificates or everything your website is having good cybersecurity stuff. Now what you can go just tell any LLM, right? Or not currently ChatGPT and everything, but very like DeepSeek you can use. DeepSeek having so many security issues. I'm not sure they currently fixed it. You can ask that LLM, hey, can you tell me like is there an issue in this website? As a hacker, how can hack it?
And it's providing that.
Yes, it's providing the steps to actually hack it. This website is
and
letting
it's
this.
live. I can use it right now.
Yeah, you can use it right now. I'm not sure they recently fixed it, but initially when DeepSeek was launched,
Okay.
so the case was there. So these things, hackers is using LLM for their advancements also to how they can attack it.
Okay. So they are using these AI tools to find out new ways to
Fast
penetrate.
ways, yeah.
Ah, cool.
And in case of AI also, right? So this is the one thing, like they are using AI to attack maybe Web2 world or Web3 world. Like Web3 world means they can build like some AI agent, and that AI agent is automatically going to this explorer, finding new contracts and finding the vulnerabilities. Like any contract is having re-entrancy vulnerabilities, so they can easily attack it, right? So they don't have to manually go find this contract.
So
having
basically
this one.
they have like automated
They automated their life to how to hack it, right?
and they are able to
Do it.
Cool.
And now so there is two cases. Now the third case is there is issue is the AI also, right? Like there's AI agents. You can say AI framework Elijah. So hacker was able to manipulate Elijah, and I'm not sure how much Ethereum was there, around 30 Ethereum or 3 Ethereum. I'm not sure the number, but able to manipulate, and then that agent transfer the Ethereum to that hacker address, right?
Okay.
So there's two things how hackers are using AI into Web2, in Web3, and how they actually manipulating the new AI space also.
And now like let's suppose I'm a founder of a DeFi product or NFT marketplace or any on-chain product,
Hmm.
how I can use AI for my betterment, like in this security space.
Yeah, so like talking about the security side of it, right?
Yeah, like as you explained, hackers are using AI for their
Yeah, yeah.
purposes. So as a founder or as a, let's suppose, a manager or a security a consultant who's working for a good reason, how they can take the benefits.
Yeah, so like one way is like, like the first is, if any hacker is just using LLM, like, ChatGPT, so it's not extremely trained on hacks or vulnerability, right? So maybe it's not going to find good vulnerabilities, but maybe can
So you
find
need a
basic.
custom sort of something.
Yeah, so as a developer or as a secure, as a DeFi protocol, you have to use these AI agents that we are also building, like QuillShield. We build the AI agents, we trained it like around, we having our own algos, fine tune and everything. So as a protocol CTO or anything, you can use these AI agents that extremely trained on these vulnerabilities, and these AI agents, you can say tools, is going to help you find maybe 80, maybe 70% of the vulnerabilities.
Okay.
But you need to go to the manual audit process also. It's even.
So half of the kind of like 60 to 70%
Yeah,
job is done
yeah.
from the QuillShield tool,
Yes.
and like the tools other
Yeah.
than that. So after that, like the manual audit is also needed. So like moderation is also needed about
Yes.
like
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
that report
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. So
So how that like what are the parameters which QuillShield has as compared to basic LLMs like ChatGPT and all? Because see, everyone don't have the access, or we
Yeah.
don't know like how to use. Is it a paid model or what? So, but what are the like parameters which you put in the QuillShield product, which are must for an basic level audit or a basic level moderation for a smart contract, so that people can understand the brain behind QuillShield?
yeah. So I think 2-3 ways around this. So one is, first we decided like which is the base model we're going to use. This is the main important. Like we check the framework, or which is the good, and then we build a data pipeline. Data pipeline means you have to actively train that, your new AI agents around the new vulnerabilities, around the so much new smart contracts data. Still, maybe it's not going to find, it's going to find good amount of vulnerabilities, but for some attack vectors, some scenarios, you have to write your own algos also. And we also use, okay, let me break it down. So we having, so there is one static analysis tool that find, these vulnerabilities. So there is Slither is there. On a top of that, we having this fine tune our old LLM also there. ChatGPT, we currently fine tune it, and on the top of that is having our own algos is also there, if these two are not able to find it. So this is the stack of architecture, and this currently the new innovation that we're doing is RL framework. So on the top of that, we're building the RL framework. RL is, how our agent can find 0-day vulnerabilities that was not never recovered. Like just assume, so, and RL is a very interesting way. Like why it's interesting, and RL is going to only works when you having good foundation model. So I was listening to, not listening, like, even these good foundation models, even ChatGPT is also building for the developers the RL framework inside the ChatGPT also.
What is this like RL?
RL is, so you can provide the feedback, this is not the right output, and then it's going to self learn.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
it's a
Self-learning
self-learning
model.
agent,
Yeah.
which acts on your feedbacks.
Yeah.
But still, see, I am a founder of who don't have much information about security and all.
Yeah, yeah.
So how I can give that feedback?
So
Because I also
yeah,
don't know, na.
yeah. So RL is just not a feedback part of it. There is Lextra is also there. So like, I'm going to share everything. So currently, if you go to our agent, or other RL, this dev tooling platforms is also coming. So like there is one vulnerability is there, right? My tool is saying, hey, this is the vulnerabilities, and a developer saying, yeah, it makes sense, this is the vulnerabilities. So there is one, we made it like one checkbox and everything. You can actually report, yeah, this is the right vulnerability, right?
Okay.
So as a developer, you are giving the feedback.
So as per the feedback from developer, other developers also,
Yes,
the
human
model
feedback
is
is
getting
also
trained,
Yeah.
so that it can serve the whole audience.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So this is the one way. The second is in the RL is, you need to build the environments, and in that environment your agent self learn, right? One environment can be a testnet or a explorer environment where it automatically goes to those smart contracts and try to find the vulnerabilities. So you need this environment so that around RL we recently build one POC, like how we can find 0-day vulnerabilities, and we got good results. So we're doing some innovation around it, but that the RL, the framework we're trying to build, is still at very early stage, but we build it.
So as you just said, it needs continuous improvements and all, and for that sort of training, data is very much important. So at what stage you are feeding the relevant data, at what stage these products are, so that people can get the overview. Okay, this is an custom made model which is heavily trained on these data sets, and it's being trained on the current issues also.
Yeah, so like in the AI, the most important thing is how you can build this specialized model with specialized data, and these kind of applications are going to win, right? So in our case, the most important factor is to build this data pipeline, right? So in the data pipeline, like the one factor is to train on the old vulnerabilities, right? Second is, if there is new vulnerabilities coming, how you can train them, very actively, how you can train them, may weekly or may bi-weekly, or training them. Third is the developers is also giving feedback. Hey, this is the new vulnerability, and your maybe AI agent is not able to catch it. So what we're building for that community intel is one thing we're building, where any developer or anyone can provide, this is some kind of a new vulnerability. New vulnerability is like something, this new kind of attack vector your LLM is not able to predict or not able to navigate, and it's very complex to navigate the attack vector. So we're building this community intel, and where developers can provide the new hacks and vulnerability, and they are going to get the incentive around it also. So in data pipeline, these 3-4 steps are there.
Cool. So this is how it's getting trained, and it's learning from its.
Yes, yeah.
Other than as we know, QuillAI is a fairly new venture of yours. QuillAudit is there from last 7 years. You have worked with at least 1500 startups, 1500 Web3 projects, and you have delivered results to them. How this started? Because first time in life when I met you, I know you were creating something with some VR headsets and all. So my senior told me, okay, this is Preetam, he is working in this. So okay, I thought, okay, it would be a very fascinating thing. You are doing some jewelry campaigns in that big monitor using that VR headsets and all. And from that point, how Quill happened, what was that aha moment to change everything? Because from VR section to Web3, and in Web3, the Web3 security. So what was that aha moment when you realized, okay, this is the thing which Preetam can do, and which Preetam can really do?
So I think one thing is work for me is if anything am I doing right, I should get the joy of working that thing, right? What we say in India, ki maza aana chahiye, right? The thing that you're doing it. So when I started my journey in 2013, I worked as a front end developer, then back end developer, and every 1 year I used to work on one stack, right? Front end, then back end, and then I joined the Darwin company where we met, and then where I was working on this VR AR headsets thing, and it was a very crazy thing. I really liked what I was doing. Then I got to know about blockchain. Then I realized this is something interesting, and this is I'm getting the joy, and I feel blockchain is something is going to be there for next 20-30 years, and it's really going to change some things, like with the help of decentralization, transparency and everything. So I decided, let's take a bet, and I always wanted to do my own startup and do something. Let's decided to take one bet, and I think I would give very the factor in that journey goes too much to these Indian Web2 startups, like in during I remember 15-16 when Flipkart was coming, housing was coming, so many good startup was coming, Rocket Internet, big VC was betting on India, your story was backing so much good Indian founders. And at that time I was working in startups only, right? I know what's happening in US, via AngelList, what kind of startups are getting built, and there is so many good startup I know was getting built just around housing, just around retail and everything. And I still remember in 2015 or 16 I built, I given I think around 1 year to build one product that was very fascinating, and I used to work on weekends from that company office because a big company was there. I used to go and work on that product. I was really liking building that product. So your story and these startups really helped me getting the fire to start my own company. And then Darwin Lab happened, and then I realized this is the right time, and I am having that fire, right? And now I need to really scale that fire. And then I left my job, and then I started. And now you're coming to your second part of it. In 2017-18, then we started, QuillHash, we started one dev company. And then we realized, this thing is everyone is doing, right? I can I really scale it? Do I am the product market fit? Do I am the founder market fit for the product that I'm building, the company that I'm building? That I realize, you know I'm not sure I can scale this company, right? And it was very hard to be in service company. Then we decided in 2021, I think, let's take a bet on very one thing. Less is the more, nowadays, everyone is talking about. And that's why I'm very very big fan of, I still, I think on Twitter in today morning there is one guy, good friend of me, he just posted a one tweet, how Indian founders working in US, even Web2 and Web3, are so successful because less is the more. So Cursor founder, Windsurf founder, I know there is one
Perplexity.
Perplexity founder. There is one good founder, Rox, sales CRM, AI sales CRM. He raised $50 million 2 weeks back only. So there is so many good Indian founder. I think they only focus on one thing, less is the more. And again, US is having capital and good founders are definitely there. But that thing, when you do so much things, you can't really scale, right? So QuillAudits then happened, and then we started liking, security is something, every product need, and we can really scale it. And we started, and double down on it. And it's by default, I feel, is in my nature to be, very, how we can protect everything, how we can be very defensive if you are, innovating in some space. So that's it's always in my nature. And then it gives direction to my company also, right? How we can innovate, if these hackers are doing this stuff, how we can, build this service, how we can build these tools. And then now AI came, right? Now how we can use AI to scale blockchain security. And that's how
So
the journey
let's
going.
go back a little bit.
uh,
You told me you got the ideas, you
uh,
moved from Darwin, you started
hmm,
QuillHash, then
hmm,
QuillAudit, and then QuillAI.
hmm,
All these three are linked.
hmm.
But there is a very important parameter, demand or revenue or sales,
Yeah,
because you have built it from scratch. What motivated you? What was the first deal? What was the ticket size, and how you got that?
yeah. So I still remember in 2017, I left my company, and we were discussing like how we can get our first client. So there used to be one guy in our company. He was very active on Medium and Twitter, and he just wrote one content around ICU and everything. So there is one guy from Singapore. He was going through his Medium blog and everything. He really liked it, and then he invited us for meeting, and then we met him, and then we started the journey. I don't know the ticket size, but these guys raised good amount of money. I think they raised during the time $20 million they raised. That was crazy time, ICU time. Everyone was raising 20-30 million, and I still knows out of all those projects, 99% are dead, right? Still 1% are there. So
So from a Medium blog, you
hmm,
got your first sales or
yeah,
client.
client, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
that's how it happened. And I still remember the second how it happened. There was one guy, he messaged me on LinkedIn, again in 2017, and only, and he, I think, and or 18 starting, he messaged me on LinkedIn, and then we got the second. and then I think then we scaled
Got
it.
it.
Yeah.
So it was all organic, the
Yeah.
content and the word of mouth.
Yeah.
The content you were putting out was
Yep,
really
yep, 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 yep.
impactful and people have seen, and then
Mm.
they try to contact you, and
Mhm.
that's how.
Mm.
Cool. So now clients are there.
Mm.
You got the idea. You are building QuillHash,
Mm.
solving developing products for other.
Mm.
In this game,
Mm.
you need team.
Mm.
You need founders, co-founders. You need that team which shares the vision
Mm.
with you, which shows interest. Like they take the pain with you.
Mm.
How you build that team,
Mm.
how you got to meet your
Mm.
co-founder.
Mm.
If you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I think team we always focused on how we can hire guys having the fire, right? Maybe they are not the extreme A players, but are very young, very having that fire. We really focused on, and I still remember when we started building the company. Then some folks joined us, and we started together. I think we were initially, I started the company, and then my co-founder Rajat, I think, as we
Okay.
both know him, and he was also working in Darwin Labs, right? So he joined me to start the company, and then some folks from Darwin Labs also joined us. But uh, then slowly you can figure out like who's the right guy, that you can really scale the company. And then we started hiring some guys. So I still remember, we just completed 7 years. I was discussing in our team hall also, team meeting. We I think in 2018 we hired 5 interns, and these interns were so good, right? Very aggressive, good fire. And out of those interns, we got very one good guy, and then he became our CTO also for 3 years. And he was kind of co-founder. He
Okay.
really played a big role in the success of QuillHash. Now he works in Web3 Auth as a tech lead. uh, and there used to be one girl, Niharika was there. Now she's in a safe, and she's product manager there. So I think these two guys really helped us, and they both were interns, but now they are at very good job. So we really focused on young guy with having energy, fire. They know how to execute the things. Still, I as a founder, we should focus on hiring. I think good amount of time. I was checking my to do in the morning also. I have still one blog to read around hiring. you know
There
it's
is
a very complex. Yeah. Malab, you need to keep changing your strategies.
okay.
Huh?
As like we discussed, team is really important. There is other very important factor is the support from family,
Uh-huh.
because we you changed the job and started the business and all. So
Hmm.
there is a
Hmm.
scenario in India like, okay, don't do this,
Hmm.
just do a job, everything is good, don't take risk and all. So
Hmm.
how you tackled them, how they supported you,
Hmm.
what was the challenge, and now we all know everything is fixed. But at that time, because see, new people who will be like who will want to do this, they will be facing these problems. So from your learnings they can learn. So like what was the scenario back then, how you like tackle the family at initial level, and then when the clients are there, that's not an issue, but at the hard times, because family is very important.
Yeah, completely agree. Like you need to do things according to your family condition. But in my case, I was the youngest one, right? And in my family, my father was working. My brother was also working, and everyone was working. And so there was less attention towards me, what
Okay.
I'm doing in my life.
So you got
So
a safe haven.
yeah, so like after college I got at some attention, like where are you working, what you doing. And then after 1 year there was no attention, right? Then I left my job after 1 year, and I was not doing for anything around for 1 month. I was just wanted to see what I can do in next company.
Okay.
Then I worked in the next company for one year, and then I left it, and I don't know what to do for next 1 month. So I'm always had this courage. No, not courage, leverage, or you can say
So
time to decide what I want to do,
so
what
you got
company.
the full support,
Yeah,
you
I
can
got the
say.
full support. I got it. But I think nowadays, if we talk about India, we having Shark Tank and these things, and now families knows about startups. You know,
They know about businesses, entrepreneurship.
they know too much about.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was some good founders with them talking. Their brother was discussing this thing, how much they wanna raise, and still in college, how equity they should give, why they should give, and what should be the product market fit. So I think Shark Tank really played the role, and now India is so in case of India, Web2 companies really given the return, right? Like Zomato is there, good companies are there, post IPO. So Web2 startups really gain the return. So now families also know startups are something, and they're really sporting.
Uh, we started with the QuillShield. You are trying to productize the whole auditing system so that it's scalable, like people can use it and you can save
Yeah.
funds as much as possible. But still there are multiple hacks.
Yeah.
There are multiple so-called scams. Everything is there. You know the terms and all better than me. Why? Because AI is there. Companies like you are bringing this from like 7-8 years. You have audited multiple, you have seen multiple things, but still why founders are not like adapting to these basic parameters which you are telling them? Because I have seen you have attended multiple events, acted as a speaker, a guest, you have shared lots of info and you are still doing the same. But what's the gap? Why they are not able to understand, okay, this is a really serious concern? Why because I think this should be taken at the first level. Okay, how I will save the funds. But instead of this, founders are focusing how I can get the funds first in wallet, and then will think about, okay, it can be taken care of, and when something happens then the panic button goes off. So why they are not taking this seriously?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think there's multiple factors around it. Out of some hacks, right? 20, 30, or maybe 40% of the projects are not audited, right? So by default,
Still.
yeah, still. So by default they're going to go into hacks, right?
Okay.
And or some hacks maybe you don't know that hacks are going. There is no reporting or no one knows. Maybe the protocol is not big. So this is one thing, like some percentage of projects are not getting audited, so they're getting hacked, right? Or maybe they're not getting audited just to do the hack also. So we have seen, I think last week I was just reading one blog. The developer post audit did some change in the code and did the hack, right? Manipulated the code also. So
The developer
changed the code post audit.
Okay.
And then he manipulated the code.
Re-audited was.
Yeah. So indirectly in Web3 space, trust is the issue, right? You really can't trust anyone, right? The first is very, if your developer is doing hack, how are you going to trust it, right? So sometimes maybe you having your own internal developers, you can trust them, that's good. But sometimes you hire this freelancer from these dev companies and everything, so it's very very hard to trust.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. You can hire internal teams and all, but there is a lot of chunk which is getting done from freelancers and other consultants. So is there any way, like let's suppose I'm a founder who is ready to do some audits and all, what would be the step-by-step guide which I can do from my own, like the tools which are available publicly, your tools or other on-chain tools and all, and at what level he should go to a agency or a consultant? Okay, this is the right time to get everything like audited in a formal way, so that or insurance, or what are the steps? So step by step guide, like let's suppose I'm launching my protocol today.
Yeah, so I think let me finish the last question. I think so. What I was saying, trust is very less in Web3, right? The one is the hacks are happening. The second is, if not hacks, like there is so many market manipulation, rug pulls are happening, right? The third is that is nowadays is 50% out of all hacks and scam are these phishing links, or you are getting this random message on Twitter, your Telegram, getting access. Someone wants to take your into as a Forbes, and they get access to your Calendly and Twitter. They get amount from your wallet and everything, right? So I was reading this one report. Nowadays smart contracts hacks are very very minimal, right? Now hacks are now around your someone get access for your wallet from mobile, so
Okay.
MetaMask from these and these.
So they have found another
Yes,
way.
so hacks are getting very they are very stable. Again, they there is good amount of money, but mostly if you see like last year also 50% was just these rug pulls or these phishing links attacks or these kind of attack, right? So we did some advancement in like security space. We having good auditing company, tools are there, like the hacks are a bit of stable, but trust is not stable, right? Like there is so many human, the grid is always there, this link is coming, you're clicking that. Again, there is some companies are there like that predicts like this is a phishing link or no, like the MetaMask, sorry, not plugins are there, Chrome plugins. And if you're giving access to your MetaMask to any like connecting your website, so you should use these 2-3 plugins that I personally use.
What
right?
are these plugins?
So like there is some good plugins like Web3 antivirus is the one. I think I forgot the two names, but Web3 antivirus is the good one. And
You can share those names.
yeah,
We'll put it in the
yeah,
description.
put in the right. So I think so trust is very much missing. Grid is so much, everyone is just the extractor in the web space, even as a VC, even as a founder, even like everyone wants to extract anything from everyone, right? So that is the one issue, why these hacks are still happening, going on. Now coming to your second question, right? As a protocol founder, I wants to launch anything, what should be my steps, right? So I always, if you're going first with if you're building your own team, that's fine, but you wants to go with any good dev company, just see the background, who's doing it and everything. If you can engage any security company at the time, at the the dev company is building the architecture, how they planning it, it's a very good thing. Else what happened, even last week we were discussing with the team. So the founder worked with a third party company, but the third party maybe assigned a very junior developer and the code was just a mess, right? So bad architecture, and then they need to do the changes and everything. But as a founder, the founder is just expecting he will get the audit report. Then we said, my team was, I was just checking the chats. They just said, right, this is a mess code, right? So we always suggest, if you can engage any good auditing company, like, or maybe your virtual CISO, if you can hire them and they can suggest a good architecture to build. Don't, because this dev company will maybe assign you good developers, I'm not sure, right? So go with very good company. Now as a auditing company, we are also having these development guidelines, like what is the structure to build the secure smart contracts, what is the architecture you should follow.
And it's public.
Yes, it's public, we share with everyone. It's a public in our blog, and that's very important. I think open Japan is also having this kind of data. So as a developer, you should always know the best practice to write a secure smart contract. And as a auditing company, it's our duty, we share with every our even lead or friend. We saying, hey, we're writing this smart contract, hey, please check out this. We always doing it, and that's really helping them. Now now just assume the code is ready, right? Just assume code is ready. Now they wants to go with audit, maybe with us or any company. Then we share one again checklist, how you should prepare yourself for audit. Like your test cases should be good, your commits and everything should be good. And that really helps the audit company and the developers also, else there is too much back and forth happen. Now the interesting case is here. And now most of these developers or the protocol founders only going with one audit company. So we always suggest, don't go with one, right? Because as you mentioned, like there's so many companies are there, tools are there, what's happening? Because still blockchain is at a very early stage. There is so many attack vectors, even we don't know.
So you should go for
Yes,
at
go
least
with,
how many audits?
at least go with 2 audit companies, at least minimum. We seen like
Or it depends upon the like how the
complex the contracts
or
are.
something.
Yeah, it depends on, but that's what I'm saying. Minimum 2 you should keep it. And but again, we have seen like good protocols gone through 6-7 audit from different company even after they got into hacks, right? So audit is not always a guarantee, it's just how we are minimizing the risk. And to minimize the risk, you should go with 2-3 players so that they can figure out if someone is missing any attack vectors or any kind of vulnerabilities. So now, like just assume your audit is done. Then the most important thing nowadays, you need more eyes on your code, right? Eyes means 2 audit companies, like maybe 4 or 5 auditors gone through your code and everything. Now how you can, like 50 auditors or white hackers can see your code, that's really important.
Okay.
That's why, you know, even after audit, I remember last week we were doing the audit for on one bug bounty platform for the Eigen layer, like one of the biggest protocol, and my team got some, you know, vulnerabilities also in the bug bounty that they are running on the container. Not only us, like there's some good, you know, white hackers, there's so many vulnerabilities, even the audit from 2-3 audit companies, right?
So get it audited from a community.
Yeah, bug bounty platform.
Bug bounty platforms.
Yeah, so you choose
And,
anyone. So you need
what you can suggest?
I suggest all are good, like Code for ANI is good, Immunify is good, Container is good. I think these are two.
And these are like how the commercials are related, or is it free? What's the process? Like, do auditing companies can only launch the bug bounties?
No. Protocol founders, they can put like I want to launch 100k, 50 million
Okay,
bug
so
bounty.
they can directly come and just like a questing campaign.
Yeah,
they can
directly
go and
come, and there is some percentage I think these guys charge for that. Like 1 million to me will charge you 5%
cool.
of
So
it.
I got the idea, I got the checklist, followed it, then
Did the audit,
did the
bug
audits,
bounty.
bug bounty. Now,
The most important thing is that nowadays we seen, like there was one hack, you know, last to last week in India only, around Zot. You know how you're managing your private keys, like, you know, what's your structure, like, I was checking some protocols that got into hacks. There was no multi-sig around it, like their money was just in one contract without multi-sig.
okay,
Right? And so the custody plays very, very important role, like how you're managing your smart contracts where, you know, millions of money is locked. So pre-deployment kind of a audit is also important. Hey, we want to go live now, but as a security company will see, is this everything pre-deployment is ready, your wallet, everything, how you manage going to manage custody, everything is done.
so this was the reason for.
Some protocols go into hacks and some are just not using multisigs.
So what was the case in Zot? Like,
I haven't explored fully
Okay.
much, but the case was, you know, again, how the story starts is always same. Like someone will ping you on
Okay.
LinkedIn, someone will
Yes.
ping you on Telegram, then
the
they will,
initial part at the top
yeah,
of the.
yeah, and they get access to your MetaMask or
Got
maybe
it,
any
got
wallet
it.
was using.
You get some fishy links
Yeah.
and all, and then you go.
And in that wallet there was no multisig, so it's direct access was there.
Okay, so
right, the private
cool.
key.
That's how.
Yeah.
That layer was missing, so
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was it become very easy for them.
Yes. So uh, pre audit is also important. Like, you know, pre deployment audit is very much important. Now you deploy it. Now you need post audit also.
Okay.
Post audit. Why I talk post audit? Because as I mentioned, you know, these developers also internal team or maybe external team. Internal team do less, no, maybe zero. But these external freelancer or, you know, some Upwork you hire, they try to manipulate your code.
Okay.
So you need post audit also. So like just you just deployed the contract.
Okay.
Don't tell your community we went live, you deployed anything.
Okay. Okay. So
Just get a quick review from audit company, everything is fine.
got it. So you cross check
Yes.
the audits again,
Yes.
that everything is still fine.
Yeah. And this is the process, and there is again there is so many steps. Like then you need to set up your monitoring. Monitoring is so much important nowadays because
What do you mean by monitoring?
like smart contract monitoring,
Okay, on like weekly level
on
and
chain
all.
monitoring. Yeah.
Okay, so everything is going fine. And
Yes, like just assume there is any reentrancy attack is going to happen in your contract, but again chances are reentrancy is already get fixed in these bug bounty audit or pre-deployment. Everyone knows about reentrancy, but there can be some cases where hacker was able to get access or maybe your private keys or anything. So like if you feel this contract is some guy is draining money, so you will get the instant notification and you can stop it, right?
Got it.
So monitoring is so much important. And the last thing is everything can just messed up, is insurance you need, right? So
Insurance for the whole protocol, the funds and all.
yeah. So you see, right, it's a so much complex process, right? And it's not and that's like decentralization is there, right? Like, and the blockchain use case was to build the trust, right?
And
But to fix the trust, there is so many things are going on, and that's why the hacks are going on.
cool. So you mentioned the whole checklist or a strategy which a founder should do. But yeah, there are still the cases which understand when everything happens.
Hmm.
What was 2 or 3 top hacks or the funds which got hacked from your point of view, and which you thought, okay, which you prejudged in your mind, or some sort of thing, like, okay, this will happen someday with these sort of protocols, and you raised your voice on Twitter or LinkedIn, and that happened like along the time, like 6 months, 3 months. So you raised something, or your team raised, okay, this could be a vulnerability, and then at that time no one thought, and after 3 months, 4 months, this happened.
Well, that's a kind of very very rare case, right? Like if I can think of, if definitely we contain in protocol like you having this, you know,
Like you advise someone, okay, fix
yeah,
this, either you will something happen, but
yeah,
he
yeah.
didn't listen to you, he
Then they got
ignored
into
you,
hack.
and then he came back, okay, Preetam.
No, I think it's never happened, right? Like if we publish any report, right, and we
So
having,
people take you seriously.
yeah. So
Yeah,
we,
that's the thing, that's
they
pretty
should
much
take
important.
seriously audit company. If they're not taking seriously, then
Cool.
yeah.
So you have seen multiple dollars getting wasted, getting drained out.
Yeah.
Um, can you talk about like the most recent or most high value
Oh.
issue or hack which happened, and that shocked yourself also, okay, if this company or this protocol can be pulled off with this sort of attack or something, then this is really serious issues, and then you started like finding out, because see, other people will start auditing. As an auditing company, you will, if that is not your client, but you will start in order to learn how this happened, in order to track. So any case of this like the hack or something?
I think, I think whenever, like, users or retail investors money goes, got lost, is the, I feel is the biggest hack or attack vector. Like, we see in case of Vajirax, right?
Okay.
And it was really really shocking, or now in case of Bybit also, right? So we trust centralized exchanges, right?
But
Yeah, but still there is like 200 now, Bybit having 1.5 billion dollar of hack. How these hacks are happening, how the hacker is able to get access of these, developers or founders laptop, and designing these transactions. Maybe there is some issues in the custody where you see, this transaction is for signing, but under the signing the data there is some other intent is there, right? So I feel these hacks, like, like, let's talk about India. India, we don't have any regulations, right? And now retail users, investors put so much money into Vajirax, like it was around $200 million hack, right?
yes.
And now $200 million is very big money, right? Very big money. If you talk about India case, very big money, and still there is no action from, Indian government, or maybe the Vajirax. There is no action, right?
So is there any chance for?
No, I don't think there is going to chance, because it's, as we everyone knows, these hacks are now state backed. Like, North Korean is definitely is part of it, and that's really really shocking now. As a state, as a country, you having this, war room just to do the next hack,
Okay.
right? Now Korean hacker or Korean, army or everyone, their job is just to do the next hack in the Web3. How they can do it?
Really?
Yeah, right. So they having these war rooms, and they just figure out which is the protocol, which are big exchange, we feel, how we can manipulate them and do it. So their day-to-day job is this. So why? Because blockchain is just open money, right? The code is there, money is locked. Initially these hackers, like maybe North Korean hacker, or they used to, steal the data or get the data from Amazon or Flipkart or Zomato, and they used to sell, this data is there. But this is why to do this basic kind of thing when you can really get the money out of it,
Yeah, so
and take that money into your country, like $1 billion, when your country GDP is around maybe $50 billion.
yeah, then it's easier.
This is very easy. $50 billion, or maybe I'm not sure the GDP, but it was some percentage of hack, right? So why
It's easy money for
it's
them.
easy money for them, right? And uh, and that's really hurts as a security company and a Web3 ecosystem also. But nowadays there is one interesting things are happening. There is good, you can say alliance are there. Like if there is one blockchain security alliance, seal 911, and their main job is just to protect Web3, right? Like just assume there is one hack happened last week. There was one protocol, I think was name was QuillX something was there, where seal 911 really help in tracking the guy, who's the guy, and everything is free. They don't charge you anything.
Okay.
Now in case of filament, there is one protocol from India also. The seal 911 really help, and these are white hackers. You can say there's one side is seal 911 and one side is North Korean hackers. Like this is the fight is going on, who's going to save us. And then the hacker was not North Korean in case of the protocol that I'm talking about. Then they return the money back.
Got it.
Yeah, and same in
what
case
was
of
the protocol?
the name was something X. I think KILOX was there.
Okay.
I still don't know. I think it's a kilo. Maybe I don't know. There's something was there. I did a
Got
tweet
it.
also.
Okay.
And in case of GK Sync also, the hacker returned the money.
Okay.
In case of Filament, I just met the founder of Filament. We recorded a good podcast also. Hacker again returned the money, right? So now we having these security alliances are coming that really helping in tracking who's the hacker, and how they can own. And negotiation is very much important. If you're negotiating with any hacker, how they can, if they can return money with maybe 10 or 20% of the total money is hacked, but it not applies to North Korean hacker, right?
Okay,
So like if there is normal hacker or like normal design, he knows like there is some loophole in your market or your order book and anything, definitely you can negotiate with them. And we seen anything last 1 month, these three protocols really recovered from the hacks. That's a good sign also.
got it. So things are
Things
there.
are good,
You
but
just need to find out, like you mentioned about this community seal 91.
yeah, seal 911 is there.
So
Yeah, and there is one good organization. Its name is I think IC9 or IC3, and it's these guys help you filing the cases with FBI if any crypto hack happened, and these guys really helped you in filing the case in US also.
got it.
And there is other than like chain analysis is there, like Merkle tree is there, Merkle science is there. There is one more company, Crystal Intelligence. So these intelligence companies also help you
to recover,
tracking where is the money
track
is
or
going.
recover.
Yeah, money is
Got
going. You can talk to their any exchange compliance officer. Hey, freeze these funds, freeze these
Got
funds.
And
So
they do
everything
it.
is there now.
Yeah, and they do it.
You do it now, but there is some loopholes still. Like in mixers are there. If mixer are there, North
Then
Korean,
it's really hard.
very hard then. Yeah.
So till now we discussed about security. We discussed we got into a technical, pretty much technical topics and all. But as a brand, because we have been seeing Quill Hash, Quill Audit, QuillAI, like being from a technical background, and I know Rajat also. So how you are managing the marketing branding aspect of the whole brand name? Because as you mentioned, trust is really important, and in order to gain trust, you need to be vocal, you need to be there in market, you need to be talking in events, you need to be there. So how marketing is important for the brand Quill?
Yeah, I think in Web3 space, marketing plays really important role. So you need to build the narrative, like the way Ethereum build the narrative. We are the most decentralized, and Solana build the narrative. We having the vibe, right? Now other protocols are also maybe building, like Mega is building, Monad is building, or Movement also build it. So you really need to build the vibe. Vibe means you really need to build the attention first, right? And attention, there is multiple ways to build attention. It can be founder-led growth. So I always believe in the founder-led growth. How you can do the founder-led, maybe marketing or in this kind of stuff. And first you need to build the attention and use that attention to build the traction for your company, right? Maybe you get the attention, your company is not good, but slowly you having our attention, now you can build the traction for your product, and now you can utilize it.
And how you build that attention for Quill?
Attention, we build in multiple ways, right? The one way is how you can create very good content for your ICP,
Okay.
like how you can write very deep blog. As I mentioned, we having this checklist and everything, so how you can really get the attention from other protocol founders or maybe other security researcher. These are the guys that really innovating around this space. If you're just going to do some work like as a development company, or you're not like building any protocols, not doing research or not contributing to anyone, so there chances are you are not going to build a brand. You need to have like this kind of research team that is really putting some efforts for the community, building some tool, open source tools, contribution is there. So now coming to your question, right? So content is the one thing that we really focus on, how we can educate the community, our ICP, and then we make it more better. We launch the Quill Academy, and so nowadays we are not working on the Quill Academy, but I still know Quill Academy. We launched so many bug code contest. We launched, we educated so many developers, and last to last week we were seeing like there is one guy, he was just learning. He was part of 2009 20 or 21 in Quill Academy, and now he's running a very big auditing company, I think, right? So there is so many good auditors, developers came out from the Quill Academy. We educated them, we having these resources, and we really build the attention key, and then we use it for the traction, how they can utilize us to secure their protocol, right? And to build the attention, we use first to create this content, very good content. The second is the founder led marketing. I'm quite active on LinkedIn, but nowadays I'm trying to be active on Twitter, where is the main thing is happening, right? Twitter is the main thing for the crypto space, again to get the attention, right? And if you feel in any space where like just content is everyone is doing, and now you really need to work on your growth, like growth strategy is everything, right? How you can figure out the next growth strategies, that if someone is not doing or maybe someone did, how you can make more better, that is the game, right?
How you optimize their
So as a founder, I always think what can be the next growth strategy, or maybe the new service, or maybe the new research we can do. So like we in the QuillAI, we started Quill in public, so where every bi-weekly we show what we launched, how we did it, and it's very getting very popular. Some guys are doing the FUD also, but if someone is not giving you FUD, or not you're not bullshitting you, so maybe you're not doing good, or maybe they're getting pissed off what you're doing. So we believe in like let's the Quill in public is the one thing that we recently started publishing more video content around it. So growth we always focus. Yeah, growth is the only, I think, channel you as a founder or as your CMO have to always figure out how you can build global brand, maybe by doing some good events with good protocols, get the attention, then traction, and then convert them.
So you discussed about events.
Yeah.
At Token,
Yeah.
like I have met you in multiple events, but Token 2049 is the premier event in the Web3 space. What's your take on Token, how it's growing, and how it's helping companies like you, like us, and like the platform which Token is providing?
So I'm not really fan of Token or any big events. So what I believe in is uh, so now events are nowadays is not extremely successful. Why? As a good founder, you are behind the VCs, you are joining VC events, trying to meet them, so you're not going to meet really good founder builder in any big event, or maybe they will meet you in very premium side events.
Okay.
So as a founder, I always suggest new founders, or always go to the premium side events, like maybe by Alliance, maybe via Binance is doing very good one-to-one meetings. They are also doing with founders. If anyone can get selection of it, only go to these premium events, maybe go in a day only 2 events. But again, maybe if you're in marketing team or your KPI is different, you can go to token. But so these strategies that I'm sharing
specifically for that
for the
niche.
founders I'm sharing. But your marketing team, your content team, or your marketing company or development company, your KPI can be different, right?
Definitely.
But as a product founder, I feel you should go to these only premium events. And to answer your main question, how token is helping, maybe I don't have the data.
So what are the five premium events or like the niche events which you have planned for this week?
I haven't planned yet, but I think I shared some good link with one of my founder. I think one from Binance is doing 2 event. One I think is Cointelegraph is doing one great event, and I'm just fan of Epic Web3 events.
Yeah.
Epic Web3 does good events, and I love events from Plume also. They're doing some RW events. The RW events are good because this space is getting serious. So I think these are some good events.
So Preetam, we discussed about security, auditing, development agencies, how you made it. Now we are focusing on AI. Coil is focusing on AI. There is QuillAI network.
So QuillAI is going to be rebrand. I think next week it's coming with a different name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So you can't
can
keep
we-
Quill in like in two different companies legal wise. So it's
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you take the new name?
So the name is bluei.ai. Blue only I.ai.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the rebranding will happen.
Yeah. Internally started, but it's going to come out. Yeah.
Cool. So what are the like the changes will Blue AI or Quill AI will bring once that is in market, or like we already know it's in market? So what are the, let's suppose let's name 3 changes or 3 features which everyone can use or the product founders can use?
So I think why we're doing the rebranding is you always wants to do lots of things, right? Like Quill has we're doing lots of things. Then we decided let's do QuillAudits only. Then we started QuillAI. Then we realized that there is so many things are there in the QuillAI. There's so many features or integrations there. Let's make it less is the more. So QuillAI now is becoming Blue Eye. So it's going to be only 2 things. One is how we can utilize AI into blockchain security and how we can build guardrails around AI agents. That's it. And we really wants to go in depth in one product and make it very well better, right? Like you can see any product or any content company also, like Cointelegraph, you name it, right? Or you name it, any good newsletter like TLDR is the best newsletter on AI, crypto, marketing and founder. Only one newsletter is extremely good than any media company or anything, right? So how you can build a very one thing but very well, that we followed on the QuillAudits. Now in the Blue Eye we're doing the same thing. Features are going to be maybe less but very good, that as a developer you feel I'm really liking this product, I want to use for maybe this one feature only.
Got it.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot, Preetam, for sharing the lots of info about security audits, the checklist, and the companies which can help you if you got into any sort of trouble. We'll place your links, contact links, and everything, the information you mentioned, the checklist and all in the description box, so people can use. And we'll love to sit again with you, or we'll love to sit with Rajat to discuss the same story, the try to know him from his point of view also. And yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for
having me.
sharing the time.
Thank you.
Thank you, boss.